Today's lesson is on polynomial vocabulary. If you've heard me speak before, you'll know that I am a firm believer in learning the vocabulary before the math. Because once you learn the vocabulary, then the math becomes easy. So make sure that you have a sheet of paper, you're focused and paying attention, and if you start to get distracted, just pause the computer and take a break. Okay? So let's get started. So we have some prefixes. Prefixes are the beginning of words. So we have mono, and mono means one. We have bi, like in a bicycle, and bi means two. We have tri, as in a tricycle or triathlon, and that means three. And then we have poly, like in the word polygon. And poly means many. So if you ever see words, the beginning of any words that look like this, here are your definitions. So the words that we will use the above prefixes in, the first one is monomial. The second one is binomial. The third one is trinomial. And the fourth one is polynomial. And now, why don't you pause the computer, write those down, and then on our next slide you'll see in a moment. Here we go, we have the four words, and we are going to fill in the blanks of these sentences. So it says a blank is a one-term blank. An example of this is blank. So a monomial is a one-term expression. An example of this is 5x squared. So 5x squared would be a monomial. Okay? The second one says a blank is an expression of the blank or blank of two terms. An example of this is blank. So a binomial is an expression of the sum or difference of two terms. An example of this is 3x plus 2. 3x is a monomial. Positive 2 is a monomial. When you put them together, they are a binomial. The third sentence, it says a blank is a three-term blank. An example of this is blank. So I think you know where I'm headed. A trinomial is a three-term expression. An example of this is x squared minus 4x minus 5. And we'll be factoring trinomials in the coming days or weeks. And then we have the last sentence. And I think you know the word that goes in there. It's going to be polynomial because that's the one we haven't used yet. But it is a polynomial is an expression of more than two algebraic terms, especially the sum of several terms that contain the different powers of the same variable. So what does that mean? That's a lot of words, and those words can get confusing. So let's do an example. More than two terms, so I'm going to make 5x to the third plus 2x squared minus x minus 5. And let's look. It says especially the sum, so we're adding all of those together, of several terms that contain different powers. If you notice, you have x to the third, x to the second, x, and then just a constant. So they have different powers of the same variable, and they all have the variable of x. Those are the four terms that we're going to use and learn: monomial, binomial, trinomial, and polynomial. And this is the end of our video. So watch this again, write the words down, maybe put the word on the front of a flashcard and the definition on the back. But as soon as you get the prefixes, it all becomes a lot easier. Have a great day, and I'll see you later.